What's going on, guys? Welcome to another one of Black Iron's Battles. We're at the altar of ultimate darkness. We're facing off against Heavy Machine Gun 42, and he is choosing the dwarves. He's readied up. Alright, so he wants the dwarves. We'll go ahead and take the Beastmen, and we will punish him. Alright, so we almost never get to use Khazrak, and if you guys saw Turin's latest video, he said he's awful. So I'm gonna bring him. It's always fun for me to bring. So dwarves, no caster. Okay, so we've got Apocalyptic Vision. We'll go ahead and let's bring a caster, of course. Bring a beast caster, put him on a chariot as well. Let's go ahead and use Wyson's Wild Form and Transformation of Kadon. Go ahead and bring the dagger. Let's go ahead and bring some big fat choppers for those guys. Two of these guys. We'll bring a couple of these. We'll bring some guys to make it a little wider. And then let's go ahead and bring in the chariot. Drop one of these. One more chariot. Now let's go ahead and toss some upgrades into everybody. We'll just see what happens. Alright. So we've pretty much got 4 chariots. That'll teach that guy for readying up on me super fast like that. So this is just going to be ruthless. Now I didn't bring any anti-air, so if by the off chance he brings some gyros, we're going to be in for a thrashing. But you know, gyros are just pretty awful in general. I feel like, I don't know if you have been keeping an eye on worst units lists or anything, but people have been saying that gyro bombers are awful. I've also seen, you know, brimstone guns. I have a hard time making them work, so I don't really expect them against me very often. But typically you should bring some Senegors with throwing axes or something if you're being safe. You know, bring 2 groups of them so that you can, you know, use their armor-piercing axes against the enemy's dwarven armor. And, you know, then you can charge them in as well. They're not too bad in melee, so... Alright, so we've got it loaded up here finally. Hope you guys have been enjoying all of the Blood Bowl and Total War content that's been coming at you. I've been trying to get it going again, I guess, trying to get in a rhythm. We've got the 2 groups of the Gore Herd with shields there. You see we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and we're going to put them up a little bit more in the front so that they can absorb any fire. We'll go ahead and put our Ungor Spearmen over here as well to absorb any fire. We'll go ahead and get these Bestigor herd. We'll get them lined up right here in the back, and we'll get our 2 Razorgore chariots, and we'll go ahead and we're going to keep them actually with the front line. Since we're going to have these 2 chariots over kind of doing their own thing, we'll go ahead and leave these 2 in the back, and they're gonna really assist our front line. I'm going to keep them as number 1, just so I make sure I'm microing them the whole time. We've got everything going, and we'll go ahead and start this battle. So let's see how it goes. We will see what's coming at us here. So we're going to go ahead and move our main army forward. We'll go ahead and grab these chariots, and we'll go ahead. Actually, let's keep that going there. There we go. Alright, so we've got our chariots moving forward. Everyone's kind of moving up over the hill. And this is one of those maps where you really don't get to see what your opponent's got until the last second. For the dwarves, we have a ton of gyros, guys, so let's see how we can do it. We've got a gyro, a brimstone gun, we've got the sky hammer, so we'll see how this goes. There's gonna be some damage done. You see here there's an organ gun, and we're just gonna start rushing these guys. We need to get there as soon as possible. We need to get everyone engaged. We need to keep these guys actually moving as much as possible. Let's see if we can get them to drop some bombs maybe, and let's go ahead and start getting these other set of chariots up as well. Alright, so we have taken a few hits here. We've taken on the Bray Shaman. Let's go ahead and summon up that transformation of Kadon right now. Hopefully they're not paying too much attention. We'll go ahead and get it right on top of the Sky Hammer. Go ahead and give it... we can't overcast. We'll go ahead and give it Wyson's Wild Form, and that'll give it some good damage. And we'll get it right on top of that Gyro Bomber. So we're still moving. We're going to go ahead and come back across here. You see there, they did drop some bombs on those Gore Herd, but that's not too bad for me. The Sky Hammer here, 90 speed. We've got only 85 with my Feral Manticore, so we're going to want to go ahead and... oh, there we go, as you turn it around. Let's see if we can trick him. Alright, let's see if we can get at him. Oh, man. Not quite. So he's got plenty of speed. He knows he can outrun me, and now we've actually managed to go Pharaoh. So that is not great. We're going to go ahead and just keep moving. But he has used a bunch of his ammo, and we haven't taken too much damage. It looks like he is going to be corner camping. But you know, as the dwarves, you do what you got to do. I'm not gonna complain. Let's go ahead and get here on top of this Goblobber. Get everything in here we can. We're still chasing with the Feral Manticore. We're gonna go ahead and just make sure everyone keeps moving. Let's go ahead and get right to the corner. And the Feral Manticore is actually gonna fight a little bit here against the Skyhammer. Let's go check that out. And look at the damage it's doing. So if it catches it, it is gonna do some major work. We're gonna go ahead and come through here, get those Razor Chariots in there. We're gonna go ahead and get one more license. Wow, it's over the top of that Manticore. And get him moving. He's gonna do some damage. Let's go ahead and get these chariots moving, and we're gonna go ahead and just get right in here. We're gonna get into these Northern Gremlins, Iron Breakers. We're gonna go ahead and keep charging up, and let's see what we can do. Oh man, the Feral Manticore is now on the ground, but the Skyhammer is actually over there. It's having some trouble, so it's not done yet. You can see the Iron Breakers are here. Let's go ahead and start getting our main units all engaged. We'll get everyone engaged there. And let's go ahead and just keep everyone moving. We're going to go ahead and get back here to the Goblobber. Let's go ahead and use that Apocalyptic Vision there. We'll go ahead and start getting our mana back with the Jagged Dagger. Let's go ahead and just keep getting everyone. We'll go ahead and get one. There we go. Everything we can. Let's see, get Khazrak to one eye, get him charging into the back. Just keep moving, keep attacking so many people. Alright, so we're doing okay. We're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and summon one more Manticore, so that'll be okay for us. Alright. Go ahead and summon that Manticore, get it on top of this Skyhammer again before he notices, hopefully. And we'll go ahead and see if, not enough mana yet, but we'll go ahead and just keep moving, keep everyone attacking. And let's go ahead and start trying to spread some of these guys out. We don't want all of them taking too much damage. They can't all be fighting, so we'll go ahead and get them if we can get anyone. Get them to charge in the back here. Let's go ahead and keep Khazrak moving. We've got this Feral Manticore. It's on top of the Gyrocopter now. Not too bad. I'm pretty happy about that. We've got to go ahead and keep this Bray Shaman moving. Go ahead and keep Khazrak going. We've got our Razor Chariot back, so we'll get him back in action. We do have some units which I don't even think have been fighting me the whole time. There's a few units that were left over. But that's fine with me. Holding them in reserve. At this point, we're still alive. Just keep running back and forth into those Bugman Ragers. At this point, let's see if we can get on top. We'll give this twice into the Feral Manticore one more time as we just keep moving. Keep moving. They're starting to rout off. We're okay. Our chariot is actually back in here. Get everyone attacking. Alright. Let's get our Razor Chariot back in here. Let's actually get them into the back if we can. With our Feral Manticores. Not doing great. But whatever. Whatever works. We'll go ahead and keep getting on top of these Iron Breakers if we can. We'll go ahead and get right in the back there. We've actually still doing okay. Let's go ahead and I'm going to ram into the back of these Iron Breakers with all of these units right here. Here we go. We'll go ahead and get that off. Boom! Nail some Iron Breakers, and this is actually closer than I expected, just because it's so hard to kill Iron Breakers. They last forever. So we do have this Feral Manticore back, so you can get on top of that Skyhammer. So you can make sure everyone gets moving, everyone gets into the back here. Let's go ahead and keep Khazrak moving. He's doing okay. Not the best of ways. We've got the Runelord here. Actually, let's go ahead and target that Runelord with Khazrak. Let's see if we can't do a little bit of damage to him while he's not looking. Let's go ahead and just keep getting all these units back engaged. Go ahead and bash that Runelord. There you go. There you go. 800 health left on the Runelord. I should have targeted him earlier. But you know, with chariots, it's just always my first thing to target the infantry. Okay, we're taking the Runelord down. He's out. He's got 100 health left. Let's zoom in on that and see if we can get in there. You can see him being chased by Khazrak. Down he goes, Runelord. And there's not much left. We're gonna go ahead and just get into the back here with all these remaining units. If we can, you can see here that those Goreherd actually did engage this group of Nor Gremlins. I mean, those guys are just lasting forever. At this point, let's go ahead and attack those Gyrocopters. We are going to go ahead and just kill everything we can. Get on top of that organ gun. Go ahead and get some of these spears in the back. Have them chase off those. Alright, bridge thrower. Let's keep moving. Keep Khazrak going. And Khazrak's doing alright. You see that? Hey, look at that. He's no problems at all. I think the balance of power is moving right in my favor. You can see he was taking out those Bugman's Rangers, but those guys, I mean, Bugman's Rangers are just so strong. They really just last. I mean, look at the leadership on these guys is still holding out. But at this point, I think we're starting to get engaged. There's just not enough dwarfs left. Not enough of the proud Dawi remaining. And sorry to all you Dawi fans, but I had to do it. We had to get in there. I actually tried to choose the Dawi, as you saw, but not this time. You did see the Skyhammer. We were able to get on top of it with those feral Manticores. I mean, while I didn't bring the anti-air, I did okay. So I just had so many units, it made it, pretty difficult, I think, for him to target out. While he was able to, kill the Bray Shaman, I was able to get my casts off. You saw there, his organ gun. It was just, he had a hard time getting that artillery in there. He did really well with those iron breakers, of course. They're always very strong. But overall, I don't think he was able to do what he had hoped with the Gyrocopters. And at the end of the day, I mean, it was still a pretty close battle. So those iron breakers are so hard to kill that they were able to cut down a lot of those Ungor spearmen, especially with the organ gun. I mean, there's just not a lot of kills across his guys, but I did take 569 losses. So, there was a good amount of damage as these units in front soaked up those all those blasting charges. There was big hits from the Goblobber and the organ gun for health and stuff like that you saw in the beginning, but overall, Khazrak was able to do it. This maybe wasn't the most competitive list, but it was a ton of fun to play against. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Please click subscribe for more great online content. This is Black Iron, and this has been another one of Black Iron's Battles.